Richie Long from the Jacksonville University Dolphins, ASUN Pitcher of the Week. How does that feel, Richie? Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me. It feels great, and I'm honored to be here.
Richie, you just tossed a complete game shutout in the River City Rumble against UNF. How does that feel?
It's good. It's good. It's my teammates are messing with me about it, about doing it 2 years in a row. Obviously last year wasn't a shutout, but it's still awesome to throw back-to-back complete games against those guys.
So, by my count, you've got two career complete games. This past week was an 8 inning game, complete game, because it was a run rule. And then last year was a 9 inning game, a complete game, both against UNF. Do you have a little extra juice when you pitch against those guys?
To be honest, I don't know what it is. There's not one thing in particular I could nail to say what it is.
What was working so well for you that day against UNF last Friday? You had only 2 hits surrendered. You were just on point. What was working so well for you that day?
I would say for me, being able to flip that switch in the bullpen, getting ahead of guys. I think once you get ahead, 0-2, 1-2, being able to put guys away is really, talking to some hitters, it's really uncomfortable coming back from a 1-2 or an 0-2 count versus, in some other outings, getting behind 2-1, 3-1. Those guys look a lot more comfortable in the box. So,
What do you throw in these days? To anything that you're tinkering with? Anything new this year?
um, talking with new pitching coach Pope, obviously, we were working on I got a sweeper slider. And we're working on a harder slider that's more of like a cutter. So when I get through that second or third time, maybe even fourth time through the lineup, I can whip that out and it's a different look for some guys.
Now, guys that have faced you before, which is a lot of those UNF guys now because you're a third-year player at JU, when you introduce a sweeper or a harder biting cutter type pitch, do they look around and say, "Wait, that's new. That I haven't seen that this year."
um, you know, I hope that's the goal. But for my freshman year when I first got here, I had it was like a loopy kind of curveball, breaking ball type deal. But as I've gotten stronger, I think it's kind of matured into a harder, sweeper, as you want to say. But the idea of the cutter is to just change some eyes and make them look different. So
Richie Long, the ASUN Pitcher of the Week from the Jacksonville University Dolphins. What does that mean to you, ASUN Pitcher of the Week?
it's definitely humbling, um, being able to have that honor, understanding that our conference is one of, I think, the best mid-major conferences there is. I think it's just really cool to be able to have that honor. And
Tell me about going complete game last Friday. You had 100 pitches. Did you feel like maybe I can go the whole way again against these guys? What was in your mindset there?
yeah, I definitely wanted to, but Hayes and then Pope came up to me and said they're not sending me back out for the ninth, especially because of how long that bottom half of the inning was. They didn't want me to sit down and cool off. And I mean, I wasn't supposed to go back out, but then we put up a 7 spot to secure it anyway. So it was pretty neat.
You've referenced Coach Pope a couple times. He's the new pitching coach. What has he meant to you, and how has he helped you develop?
Oh, he's a great guy. He he kind of humbles himself to the level of us, and we win and lose as a team together. And we're really not allowed to call him coach. It's JP or Pope, and it's just really cool being able to have a guy like that. Just so he's like family.
You're a junior now at JU. You've pitched now a couple of years. What have you learned about yourself? Have you grown in certain ways that you maybe hadn't before as a freshman?
Yeah, definitely. Coming in as a freshman, it's tough, especially my year. We're facing fifth, 6 year COVID guys
Yeah.
and playing against guys that are 24 years old. And I'm like, man, I'm the little baby on the field. As I've gotten older and last year getting the starting role on the weekend, um, definitely builds up confidence. And I think that's the biggest thing about this game is just confidence. I mean, if you don't have confidence, you're not going to go anywhere.
And, we kind of buried the lead a little bit. You guys won the River City Rumble. It wasn't just your performance on Friday as a team. You guys won 2 out of 3 against the crosstown rival UNF. What does that mean, and how does that feel after getting that River City Rumble series win?
It's definitely huge because I know a lot of the guys over there and I hang out with them. So it's definitely a lot better to be able to hang out with them after beating them. So
Have you had any smack talk back and forth with some of those UNF guys this week?
No smack talk. Kind of just joking around. I messed with them a little bit BP before the game and stuff, but nothing crazy.
Who are some guys at UNF that you're close to?
James Oman, Connor Moore, Scott Grismer, Jacob Thomas. Yeah.
A lot of those Clay County guys. I've seen the thread
Yep.
there.
Yep.
That's cool. Hey, final few moments here with you. You went to Clay High School, played for Coach Scromelo, I believe, and give me some Clay stuff. Give me some favorite memories as a Blue Devil.
I mean, just like from the day I transferred there from Ridgeview, it's just like everyone like welcomed me, like I had 5 people offering me to show me where my class was at, and it was just really like welcoming, and I felt like a part of, they call it the Clay Way over there, and it was really neat to be part of that.
Do you have an on-field memory as far as playing for Clay that you remember that, man, that was a fun time back as a Blue Devil?
Yeah. I would say back when I used to hit, we were playing Santa Fe, and I hit a bomb, and I think it was the 12th or the 14th inning, one of the two. But yeah.
Is Coach Hayes not gonna let you hit?
No, I got the chance to my freshman year in the fall, and then it kind of became too much, and then I was swinging one day and I strained my oblique on my left side. So we had a talk, and we're like, let's just take the bat away.
Yeah, and those obliques are really tough to come around and come back
Yeah.
from. So it makes sense. But, to be able to do it both ways, it's like what Otani does is ridiculous. Now, obviously, he's had Tommy John for a second time and he's not pitching this year. But, I mean, to handle both, you did it in high school. I mean, how difficult is it to manage both of them?
It's tough. I would say I talk with some guys about this too. At the high school level, it's easier, way easier, because every practice is based around everyone being a two-way, because,
Mm-hmm.
95% of your guys in high school are two-ways. But once you get to the college level, after we stretch as a team, we break apart. The pitchers do their thing, the hitters do their thing. So I would go from, throwing a bullpen to my conditioning, to batting practice, to base running, to conditioning with position players, to ground balls. And it'll eat you up.
Do the Tommy Johns that we're seeing, does that spook you a little bit? Do you think about that? How do you protect yourself from stuff like that?
Um, for me, like, I do all that I can, but I'm a big faith-based guy, and I trust the man upstairs. And if it's his plan, it's his plan, and I trust everything that happens. So
I love that. Have you guys, Coach Pope, Coach Hayes, have you had conversations about, hey, let's do stuff a certain way as far as protecting our arms? Do you have conversations like that?
yeah, Pope, having the background he had with with the Marlins and the Yankees, very knowledgeable guy. We have a arm care packet that we do after our bullpen and game day throwing. And it really, like, I see a difference too. Like, the next day I might be a little more sore, but those second, third days, arm feels a lot stronger and better. And we do a lot of conditioning. Even though it sucks, it's part of it.
Yeah, no doubt. Final moment or two here with Richie Long from the Jacksonville University Dolphins out of Clay High School, the ASUN Pitcher of the Week. Have coaches on your team told you anything about the ASUN Pitcher of the Week? Have they said, hey, go get him, good job? What have they said to you this week about that?
Monday's our off day, but Tuesday's practice. Hayes, we were on the locker room for the team meeting. He's like, give it up for Richie. All the guys clap, but that's just about it.
You guys are in a pretty good spot in the ASUN standings. Tell me about where you guys sit at the moment, and looking forward to the final few weeks of the regular season.
Yeah. Tied for first. Obviously you want to be in that top 4 pool, because 3 of the 4 in the top move on, and then only the 1 out of the bottom 4 move on. Yeah, just competing. Got a tough series this weekend against Queens. They're a good team. And then Kennesaw, EKU, and all those guys are also really good. So, I mean, kind of just staying in the moment, staying present, one game at a time, and that's about it.
Who are some JU guys that you're close to that you hang out with on the team?
Tommy Allman, Clayton Hodges, those guys. I grew up with Clayton, Leighton Perry, Isaac Williams, a lot of those guys. I mean, I'm close with the majority of them, because it's pretty cool, because we have a lot of local guys. So, going from not talking to them in high school very much to being on the same team is pretty neat.
It's a good point. Clayton from Episcopal, Isaac from Fleming Island. Speak about that for a second, because that's a huge reason why that I do the podcast and the show, because it showcases the outstanding baseball that we have in Jacksonville. To play with local guys, what does that say about the baseball here in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I think it's unbelievable here. I mean, even looking now, I don't follow it that much, but it seems like every time I go on Twitter, there's a team that has a dude now, and it's been the same way. For me, my freshman year and sophomore year was Barco at Bowles and Ballmeister and guys like that. But I think this area is one of the best for baseball, and it's only becoming better because the coaches are getting better and teams are starting to bring in more and more guys. So it's neat.
Do you guys at JU, do you take pride in that? Say, hey, we have Jacksonville guys on our team. Obviously, you're going to go in the portal, you're going to recruit different guys, but do you guys take pride in the fact that JU has a lot of Jacksonville guys on the roster?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's a good thing for our culture, having the guys, 2 or 3 guys from Bartram, me and Faulkner from Clay, like just having that bond of, being able to go back 4, 5, 6 years with some guys. It makes the team a whole lot closer.
Final few moment or two. Hey, tell me about the upcoming series you guys have with Queens. When do you pitch again?
I'll be pitching Friday. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome stuff. Hey, tell me, what's been the coolest thing about this week, ASUN Pitcher of the Week? I think for the second time. Didn't you have it last year too?
Yeah.
It's obviously a cool honor to be recognized like that, but at the end of the day, you got to go out and you got to do it again, right?
That's right. You can't let your head get too big. You can't be too good. You can't be too bad. So you got to kind of, they call it the 24-hour rule. Allow it to be on you for 24 and then push it away and keep working.
Hey, favorite moment so far this year at JU? Was it this start that you just had? What's your favorite moment yourself?
I would say definitely this past weekend's performance. But from like a team standpoint, we didn't play the best, but being able to go out to California.
Oh yeah.
And play those guys. It's tough playing, across the country, but I think it was a cool thing.
Yeah, that was the Cal State Fullerton trip. I know it was a tough series for you guys, but what was that experience like? Because that had to be pretty neat.
Yeah, it was definitely different. We we got up early. We're at the field at like 5:30 in the morning, hop on the plane, fly across the country, and then we get there and we land at like 4:30, and we're like, man, we've been up forever, because it's a 3-hour time difference. And then we had practice at 8:00, which in our time is 11:30, and we're like, man, we're all dragging. It's definitely tough, to adapt to those conditions.
You don't bat anymore, but what was your walk-up song when you bat? And then if you had one, like if somebody introduced you as a pitcher, what would be your song that you come out to?
In high school, I did "I'm So Paid" by Akon, and I had a bunch of people message me about that. They love that song. I gave it to a bunch of people. But yeah, I'd say that one. I love that song.
Why did you pick that one?
I don't know. It's funny. I was listening to Shuffle play in the car one day, and it just popped up. And then, I changed it. I had it last year actually, and I changed it this year to Thunderstruck. I feel like I needed something to get me a little more pumped up on the mound before I pitch. So,
well, you're pretty pumped up last week against UNF. ASUN Pitcher of the Week, Richie Long from Clay High School and from the JU Dolphins. Hey, thanks for a few minutes of your time tonight, man. Continued success and congratulations.
Thank you.